Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Coffee and KOs podcast. We are going to be talking about this week's card. First off, we're going to talk about last week's card that we missed. We didn't recap it. Lots of stuff going on. It's the way of the world. So we had Ige Zombie last week, which we didn't cover. And then we have a huge heavyweight bout in Ciryl Gane and Alexander Volkov that we will talk about, along with matchups announced. Typical show, as always. Great to be back. It was a nice little break, and I am joined also with our friends Kieran and Steve. Fellas, how we doing?
Delicious.
Pretty good. Can't complain here.
Steve, I think you can complain a little bit. You were a little upset. You got here a little late. You look like you're ready to go to the beach, though. I got to say.
Yeah, that was my turnaround, my move to turn around. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Throwing on the Hawaiian shirt that I haven't worn in probably 2 years. That's my attempt to turn this around.
Steve's getting some color, man.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Starting to get a little tan, man.
I got that Italian skin, so that comes pretty easy. We're only in June here. By August, golden brown.
I feel like with Italians, though, it's like two different things with Italians. Though, like there's some that get burnt, and then there's like others that get dark. Like I feel like it's like a tale of two different types of Italian.
And when you get dark, it's like real dark.
It's like a Taylor, like half of her family, they're Greek, and then the other half is Irish. So one side gets burnt to a crisp, and then the other side just gets tan.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. One other thing before we get started on recapping and previewing as well is we do have something scrolling across the bottom here. We have now a Discord channel. So you can join that Discord channel that is scrolling across the bottom here and come talk to us on Discord. We tried to do the phone number thing. It was way too difficult. Discord here has hooked us up, and it's much simpler. So you can go check that out. Those of you that are familiar with Discord should be no issue finding a way to come talk to us. So come tell us your thoughts, what you want to talk about, all those great things, and that's gonna make it a lot more fun. But fellas, I think all of us missed this weekend. I don't know that any of us actually got to sit down and watch the card. I know that I had. This is the first card I've probably missed in almost a year. Like, I don't know that I've missed a card really much at all. I did go back and watch most of the highlights and the big things from it. And from all accounts, you just look at it, a lot of really good fights, it seemed like a good card, and it moved quick because I was coaching baseball on Saturday, and I was like, oh, maybe, by the time our last game ends, we'll be able to catch the main event. And the main event had been over well before I was even done playing baseball.
Early.
Like, it was a quick card.
Yeah, and it was, because you look at, the Matt Brown highlights, there was some round 2, round 1 knockouts going into it. It actually looked like there was some pretty decent names on even the prelims, like Chaos Williams was back, Verna Hondarova, she had a good win. That was kind of a funky ending to that one. Did you see that?
Broken arm or something
broken
like
arm.
That?
Yeah, she could not move her arm, and she was just getting pelted in the head with shots the entire time. But yeah, there was Casey O'Neill had another good win. Like, I think there was actually some good names and some good finishes on this card.
Yeah, and Chaos Williams, really big win considering Matt Semmelsberger came out and flatlined Jason Witt in 10 seconds, one of the fastest knockouts.
Yeah.
So you had that, and Chaos Williams, he's legit, man. Really, really good. Semmelsberger is not a tough out. How about Rick Glenn? Rick Glenn gets a TK. First off, I want to know what the parlay was for Rick Glenn and a Matt Brown knockout. Both of those guys, old as hell, been around forever, and both get a knockout finish. That's pretty impressive to me. Rick Glenn got it in round 1, 37 seconds, something like that. That's insane. And Rick Glenn, no offense to him, is not like this world beater anymore. Or I don't think he ever has been.
He beat like an undersized Gavin Tucker. That was a pretty good win, but he kind of just sized and chinned him away, which is the worst way to win fights, honestly. I hate that so much.
I was so upset that I did not bet on this card. So I was in New York. New York does not allow sports betting. And so I was super pissed because, one, I called it on the Matt Brown knockout. I knew it was going to happen. Diego Lima
is cut.
I know we didn't do You're Fired, but he's 100% fired. Matt Brown, not that Matt Brown is bad. Like, he just hasn't been good in a very long time.
He's old. He's old. Didn't he come back from retirement for this?
I don't know if he officially retired. He's a pretty, for his age, Matt Brown is fairly active.
He's been active, man. 2020,
he
2019.
Earlier this year against Carlos Condit. I forgot about
Baeza before that in 2020.
Man.
Yeah, and it's not like he put on a god-awful performance against Carlos Condit. I mean, for 40 years old, like he's not – there's worse 40-year-olds, I feel like, out there. He's not that bad, but I'm sorry, Diego Lima is way younger and should not be getting slept by him the way that he did. I mean, he folded like a lawn chair.
He did.
It was bad.
Someone was texting too. They were saying if Bilal didn't get the finish in that fight.
I said that.
Yeah, that was you that said that. Yeah, I think we're all out on Bilal Muhammad. It just gets worse and worse for him.
I cannot stand Bilal Muhammad.
You know what's funny? I don't know that I've made such a bigger turnaround on a guy like Bilal Muhammad than he's the only one that I think I've ever had this where I was like, okay, he seems like a good guy. Like he's not bad. He's a decent fighter. And then all of a sudden it's like, wow, I actually feel like
Damian Maya.
Yeah. And I'm like, he actually is not good. Like he's just a volume striker, doesn't have power. Like, how do you not finish Diego Lima? Matt Brown barely like that. It was a flush punch, but it wasn't like a power punch by any means. Like, I feel like it was just a counter right, and it just sat. That was it. Like, it put him out cold. Man. Give me Matt Brown versus Bilal Muhammad.
Yes, run that. Let's go.
I need to go back and watch him losing via knockout to Vicente Luque and just play it on loop in the background while I do things. That would make me so happy. I don't.
Dude, he's calling out Leon or Colby. He said, whoever doesn't get the title shot, I get that guy. It's like, bro, we still got Wonder Boy and Gilbert Burns in here.
Wonder Boy and Gilbert Burns are ranked ahead of him. Vicente Luque is ranked ahead of him, who already slept him. Why don't you try to get that rematch back and prove that you're on this level? Notice how he didn't call him out. Come on now.
I feel like I called the Matt Brown thing. I called Bruno Silva by knockout. Wellington Turman is just way too young. He is not ready for the UFC. He got knocked out bad.
Erosa
got slept bad.
Yeah.
I picked that one wrong. I thought that Erosa was gonna do better, and he got slept really bad. The Turman one was bad too, though.
He let Sung Woo Choi make a name off of him. Now everybody's talking about Sung Woo Choi as a possible contender. And to be honest with you, I just don't think Julian Erosa is that good. Like, I think his Sean Woodson win. I think his Sean Woodson win was like pretty solid. But you're talking about a dude that fought 3 times in the UFC, got cut, came back, won two really good ones. Like he won against Nate Landwehr via flying knee, and then Sean Woodson via Darce choke. So I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't high on him then, but then he got 2 solid wins. But after seeing that, man, he didn't look good at all.
You get those 2 flash like finishes, and that just ups your credibility so much, and people love to ride that hype. And then we see it all the time when they actually fight someone solid. You're like, oh wait, they actually just got humbled.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Johnny Walker syndrome.
Oh, dude, exactly. Don't get me started.
Well, and then going back to the Turman knockout, that was pretty bad. I mean, he's on his back and just gets wears 3 solid shots and then out cold, slept. Laying on his back, that wasn't good. And then we finished the night, though, with the 3 decisions, which I was really surprised. I wasn't surprised with the Marlon Vera win. I figured he would win.
Man,
I was kind of hoping he would finish Davy Grant, but a win is a win.
Davy Grant also a victim of that same thing.
Yes.
Two flash not finish wins in that day. Yeah.
Jonathan Martinez.
At least he didn't get knocked out, though.
No.
He's
with Marlon
tough.
Vera too.
He's real tough. Yeah, it's just you can see the difference in levels there. I don't think
that was such a big level change, dude. Yeah, Marlon Vera went from Jose Aldo to Davy Grant after beating Sean O'Malley.
No, dude fought Martin Day, Jonathan Martinez, and Grigory Popov, and right after that, they give him Marlon Vera.
How does he even get Marlon Vera? How did that happen?
It's because he won 2 fights via knockouts. But
not only that, but he's getting older. I feel like when you're getting older and you get wins like that, you kind of gotta, I don't know who's asking or what's happening, but if I'm the UFC, you're like, okay, well, we got this. However old Davy Grant is, 36, 37-year-old that now has flatlined 2 dudes in a row. Like, we need to see if we can push him and he's legit, or is he an outside the top 15 guy? And he fought the 15 guy, and he's obviously not top 15 material. No. And now they know that. And it's not like he's going to get cut from the UFC, but he's a guy that's never going to touch top 15.
He's going to give you exciting fights on prelims.
Yes, exactly.
That's where he is. You know, you looking at the rest of the guys that could have gotten a fight like that. Sean O'Malley could have gotten a rematch with Cheeto.
Yep.
Umar Nurmagomedov could have got a matchup with a top 15 guy. Even though he's only had one fight in the UFC. I mean, his last name's Nurmagomedov.
Well, and those guys are younger. They have
it.
time where Davey Grant is old, and it's like, okay, we got to find out what he's made of now. 13-5, and he obviously showed. I mean, again, he didn't get knocked out. He got destroyed.
Not a horrible showing from him. Not a horrible.
Not horrible.
No.
Yeah. But I was a little surprised Sergey Spivak didn't get a finish against Alexei Oleinik.
That was horrible.
Guy.
Everyone finishes Alexei Oleinik.
Was that a boring ass fight? Was that a bad one? Bad decision, dragged out, heavyweights.
It was a heavyweight decision. Just say a heavyweight fight goes to decision. If their names are not Daniel Cormier and Stipe Miocic, you know it wasn't a good fight.
It was close.
Think about that.
28-29 across the board, but
it wasn't a good fight. It was not a good fight. No.
Oleinik's going to get cut though, right?
Alexei Oleinik needs to retire. He's 40. He's what, 43, 44 years old?
43.
Yeah, he needs to go ahead. He's about to turn 45 or 44
4 days.
Like 4 days. Yeah. It's time for him to go.
Yeah, he's got three dropped in a row.
One, man.
No, Twitter was outraged during this fight saying we need to hold freaking Mick Maynard and what's the other matchmaker?
Dalby?
Yeah, he was like, we need to hold them hostage and just make sure that they never book mid-tier heavyweights as co-mains or main events ever again.
Spivak 13-2 though.
Listen, but like, do you like lose credibility by not finishing Oleinik?
Yes.
Like Chris Stock has finished him pretty handedly.
That's sick. Okay. You want to know who Spivak's last win was against, Zach?
Jared Vandera.
Man.
I know.
And you know what his win was before that one? The guy that opened up 263 and looked like dog shit too, Carlos Felipe.
Oh, dude, I'm so out on him.
Yes,
that
guy. He's won like 4 straight split decisions.
Yep,
Carlos
Felipe.
He's
like
I think.
Poor man's like Tanner Boser.
This dude won via submission against Tai Tuivasa, got blasted against Walt Harris, then lost to Marcin Tybura, and then has 3 wins over 3 guys that shouldn't be in the UFC at this point. So
that's kind of heavy competition early on, though. He's young.
Yeah, it was
26?
a tough first 3 fights, but at the same time, I don't think he's going to improve at all. We'll see.
He can wrestle though. He can wrestle like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But then we get Chan Sung Jun, the zombie,
a little mad about
versus
that one.
Dan Ige.
About the Dan Ige?
Man,
that was a levels fight. I knew Dan Ige was going to hit it at some point, and he was going to have this was that opportunity to show, like, okay, are you on this elite level, or are you just like really good? Because even at featherweight, like featherweight, bantamweight, lightweight, if you are really good, it's not enough to be in a top 5 fighter. You have to be elite, and I think that was just the difference.
I didn't think Zombie was there though. Still, I really didn't think he was still in that top 5 tier. But you could say Ige did get that flash knockout in like 15 seconds over Gavin Tucker, who's a beast. And you're like, okay, we take him serious. Zombie gets his ass kicked by Ortega. Like, how do you balance that one out?
Well, this is the thing. Since coming back, he dominated Yair Rodriguez, but then got caught with an elbow in the very last second of the fight.
True.
He finished off Renato Moicano, finished off Frankie Edgar. Then he fought Brian Ortega, who came back. And also, Brian Ortega is still on the upwards trajectory. Like, he's improving. He's young. He took 2 years off, came back after getting the ass whooping of a lifetime against the title holder. You know, it's just Korean Zombie. He's only lost to the cream of the crop. Like, his last 3 losses are Aldo, Yair Rodriguez, and Brian Ortega. Like, you have to be at that level to beat him. And I just don't think Dan Ige's there. Dan Ige really struggled against Calvin Kattar. He did beat Edson Barbosa.
Split.
Beat Edson Barbosa. I don't really know about that one. But I mean, it was what it was. I just think Korean Zombie showed that there's a different level, and he's at that next level. And I mean, that's good for Ige this early on, though. He gets to know, like, okay, I have a lot of improving to do if I want to get to that level. But that was a just straight up domination, in my opinion, from Korean Zombie. And I don't really think 48-47 was very.
Why were you so upset with it? Like for me, I think it makes me kind of. I've always liked the Korean Zombie. So for me, like I really, it's nice for me to know that he's still that legit. Obviously, probably never going to touch a title. I really think Brian Ortega is going to dismantle Volkanovski. I honestly believe that. And then I think I think Max is going to come out and dismantle Ortega and get the belt back. That's how I see it going. I mean, I don't know why. I just have this thing with Brian Ortega right now that I just based on his. And again, I feel like maybe that's just recency bias, but if he comes out and
nobody likes Volkanovski. Let's just say
I know.
Nobody
I kind of like him.
I don't know. I
don't dislike him.
I don't dislike him. It's just like he does nothing for me. And then also the fact that he won a fight against Max in which he got dropped twice. That shit made me not like him more.
I feel like people hate on him so much, but they still kind of discredit the fact that he did defeat Max Holloway.
No,
legitimately the first time he won that. He won that.
No, he's great. Like he's really great. Like look at his title run. Look at his title run. He finished off Chad Mendes, sent him retired. He didn't finish, but he beat Jose Aldo, which was a horrible fight, by the way. And then he beat Max Holloway twice. But
well,
he's legit. But we'll see.
There's just something about Brian Ortega that if he strikes the way he did against Zombie, he's too much of a threat on the ground. I think to wrestle him. I think and Ortega is such a big dude compared to Volk.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think just eventually Volk's size disadvantage is gonna. No, he is. He's very good at
2013.
He's very good at even with the height disadvantage. Creative. He's creative with his striking, and
we'll see.
I don't dislike him. Like if he goes and wins, like I'm not gonna sit here and be upset
Ortega's
that he
chin
won.
Makes things interesting though too. Ortega's chin really, and also even though Max Holloway does like eat shots to give a lot. If he doesn't want to get hit clean, he's not going to. He's very evasive, especially with his head movement, and he did that against Brian Ortega. But saying if Ortega starts to get a little bit of momentum and land some big shots, Volkanovski's not going to take them like Max Holloway can. So I don't know. That's it. And also, I agree with you. I don't think he wants to go to the ground with Brian Ortega. I don't think anyone wants to go to the ground with Brian Ortega, except for Ryan Hall, maybe.
My guy.
Imagine Ryan Hall. We always talk about this. Imagine Ryan Hall makes it to a title shot just by side kicking and then pulling guard.
Rolls.
Exactly. Imanari rolls, side kicking and pulling guard. Just imagine he does that all the way.
I love Ryan.
That could have happened maybe a few years ago before all these injuries, but there was a world that happened.
So that was the last week's card. This week's going to be tough too because we got a 1:00 start time for prelims and a 4:00 main card. So also going to be tough, but I did want to mention before we get to the fight announcements and this upcoming week's card, how about Anderson Silva, guys? How about Anderson Silva getting the win against Julio Chavez Jr.?
It already happened?
Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Yeah, it happened this past Saturday.
Yes.
That was a win for the good guys.
Yes.
That was a win for the good
Chavez
guys.
Jr., what? I'm not really great with boxing. 3-time boxing champion? From what I think so.
He is a former world champion. He looked really solid early on in his career, and then he just loves to party and do a bunch of bullshit. So everyone in Mexico was booing him afterwards. It was pretty tough. He's the son of like the greatest Mexican boxer ever and a complete disappointment. But still, I don't think any boxing heads would have given Anderson Silva a realistic chance at 43 years old going up against a younger former world champion
or something like that.
Yeah. Anderson Silva is just Anderson Silva. I want to see him box Jake Paul or Logan Paul. Give it to me. Or actually, no. I take that back. I want to see him fight Roy Jones Jr. Roy Jones Jr. That was like his dream forever to box Roy Jones Jr. And I think that's a possibility now. And I hope it happens. That'd be fun.
Is he the greatest striker of all time?
No. He's up there though. In his prime, yes, you can make that argument.
Yeah.
In MMA, in his prime, yes, 100%. Actually, yeah, you might as well. Yeah, he might be. I mean, the only thing is now you have, I think the only one that can like push that conversation is Izzy.
Yeah. But
just because, I don't know. They do have that fight together, but that was an old washed up.
Yeah.
Anderson's ridiculous though. Like his ability to see shots coming. That was crazy.
Izzy didn't even finish Silva.
No.
Didn't even finish him.
Well, I mean, who does finish Silva?
He's so damn. Uriah Hall did, didn't he?
I mean, Uriah Hall finished him in his like very last fight. post USADA.
He didn't want to though.
Chris Weidman finished Silva.
Broken leg.
Easier than both of them. No, first time.
No,
knocked him out.
No.
When he was doing the head movements, he got caught.
Yeah.
Chael Sonnen outstruck him for 5 rounds and then mixed up his wrestling. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. All
right, guys. We have a few rate that matchups.
Oh, big matchup also just got announced earlier today. Do you know about that one?
No. We can start with that one. Go ahead.
Yeah. So there's a replacement for Max Holloway against Yair Rodriguez.
I think I saw
Who's the replacement?
Is that confirmed?
It is.
Is that confirmed?
I believe so. Let me make sure. Even if it's not, we're still going to talk about it.
I had that too, actually.
Yeah. Giga Chikadze.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, is it official? Because he's been lobbying for that.
I believe so.
He called him out hard.
Yep.
Said he offered the fight.
No. Let me see.
I hear something in the background. I mean, that's an exciting fight.
That's an amazing fight.
And
that's
then
so quick for Chikadze.
It's going to be Giga Chikadze versus Yair Rodriguez.
5.
That's
a 5. It's a 5, and
Yeah.
I hope Giga sleeps Yair Rodriguez.
That is the fight that I'm really looking forward to because it's going to show what kind of level Giga Chikadze's striking is really on, and I'm super excited for that.
And
super excited.
And if Yair loses, he moves down a bunch and screw Yair.
I think
I don't like Yair
at this point.
Yeah, I don't like Yair. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan of the knockout he had over Zombie. Like, that was still one of the craziest things ever. But him as a fighter, I'm not a huge fan of. I don't know.
But
something about
Chikadze getting a win over a injured Cub Swanson. Barely, I don't even know. Is he number 15 ranked at this point? I don't even know. And now he's going to get a top 5 ranked opponent. That's wild.
Listen, I'm all for it, though. I think Chikadze is legit. His striking is insane. So I'm excited for that fight. I think that fight will be electric. That is an easy 5. So Josh, our buddy Josh, he sent me all these matchups. I've been a lot going on over here in Pennsylvania. Lots of stuff going on. So I've been super busy. But we got Rozenstruik and Curtis Blaydes, which I think that you think it's boring. I don't think it's a great fight, but it's a fight that needed to be made as far as when it comes to the heavyweight division, because we have to see like we've already talked about this, the heavyweight division is the perfect levels division, like level 1, those guys I feel like are untouchable. And then like level 2, it's pretty interchangeable. You could probably put Derek Lewis in level 2. You could probably put Rozenstruik in level 2. You could probably put Curtis Blaydes in level 2. And it's like, and then it just keeps getting worse and goes down this hill. And so, but I think that it's a fight that almost had to be made though. So I don't think it's exciting, but for me, it's like a 3. I'd say a 3.
It's hard because who's very excited about Curtis Blaydes taking someone like the way that it could go when we talked about it with Derek Lewis, it could go the same exact way. He could get taken down 12 times throughout the entire fight because the cardio is really not there for Rozenstruik. But at the same time, Rozenstruik has that power that Derek Lewis had and can knock him out at any given point.
The other thing is with Curtis Blaydes, though, is he was outstriking Derek Lewis in that fight. He made a stupid.
He was scared, and then he was like, "Okay,
let's
go for it," and then he got caught. And now it's going to kind of be the same thing. I think he's going to be scared. He's going to be a little more cautious because Derek Lewis, Rozenstruik, very, very similar. He's not going to want to get caught again because that can happen at heavyweight at any single moment.
For me, it's like a 3.5. I mean, I'm just not that excited to see these heavyweights fight, but I think it's intriguing because we don't know what Rozenstruik's takedown defense looks like against a legitimate wrestler like Curtis Blaydes. We know what his striking looks like against other legitimate striking, and it's not anything to really write home about. But last thing I want to see is Curtis Blaydes just trying to stay on the feet with dude, and then it just turns into like a lengthy striking match that I don't know. I feel like this fight could be really exciting because either Rozenstruik stuffs the takedowns and finishes Blaydes with the hands, or Blaydes gets him down and then, well, actually, no, I don't see there being an exciting finish of this fight now that I think about it. Because if Rozenstruik stuffs the takedowns, he's just going to circle on the outside and be timid as well. And now he's going to be more worried about takedowns as well.
Right.
Yeah,
you guys are worried about each other.
Yeah, no, this is a one for me. Yeah, this is a one for me. I'm not excited for it. I mean, obviously
that's a headliner, I'm assuming.
It's probably going to be a headliner. You know, the
August
UFC loves
7th.
headlining.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
the
UFC
man.
headlines. Yeah, the
The
UFC
heavyweight
loves headlining
stock
heavyweights.
is down. We need a banger this weekend, but
This
we need
weekend
a banger.
we get a banger. Yep,
We need it. The heavyweights need it because a lot of people are out on those drawn out decisions. They're terrible to watch.
Well, they said it was on August 7th.
Yep.
That's a pay-per-view card, but I don't think it's going to be on that one.
I mean, I'm all
is
for it.
Is that
on
actually what they
card.
say, August 7th? Because that'll be on the Amanda Nunes.
Oh,
Juliana
sorry. September 25th.
There we go.
Sorry.
Jeez, that's so long in the future.
It's deep.
So you're killing me, man. You're killing me. That's
and
another
Blaydes
pay-per-view.
Is still
That's
recovering.
another pay-per-view.
All right,
really?
I'll take it on a pay-per-view card.
Yep. That's on the
maybe open.
You're not gonna be excited about the pay-per-view.
The main event.
Why? What's pay-per-view?
Jan Blachowicz versus Glover Teixeira.
Oh, I love that fight.
Man. I feel like you're hating on that. You're not a big Glover guy.
Anytime Glover
I'm not
Teixeira
a big 42-year-old fall over onto you and grapple you after you get rocked.
That's exactly why I am all in on it, because I think it's hysterical how bad he gets his ass beat and then wins the fight.
Could you imagine if he wins?
Oh, okay. On that card though that's Volkanovski and Ortega.
That's a pretty good card.
Yeah, there we go. That's way better. Oh yeah, Marlon Moraes versus Merab, Jessica Andrade versus Cynthia Calvillo.
Nice.
Well, I'm not really excited for that one, but
yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Don't do that to me, Zach. Don't do that to me. No.
You're super excited. Does it have a place yet? Is it going to be in Texas?
No. I think Ngannou and Lewis might be in Houston.
Oh.
And if that is the case, I'm taking a drive down there, and I'm sadly going to cheer in Houston City when Derek Lewis inevitably.
I need to fly to Texas if that's the case. MMA Stooges takes over Houston. That would be pretty fun.
That'd be a fun one. That's going to be in August. Rumors is
hot as balls down there in August. Speaking of August, the next one, Luque Chiesa. That was announced August 7th. I like this fight just because I like Vicente Luque. I mean, all right, let me rephrase that. I really like Michael Chiesa. I don't like Michael Chiesa in this fight, though. I think Vicente Luque is going to run right through him. Yeah. I could see round one finish Vicente Luque. I mean, he just hits so hard. He's dangerous on the ground, so Michael Chiesa has to be careful there. Chiesa's looked great since moving to this division, and Chiesa's I do like him.
Get it there.
Yeah, I like Chiesa a lot. I think I love him on commentary. I like his fight style, everything like that. Like there aren't many wrestlers that I enjoy to watch fight, but I do like watching Chiesa fight. But I think it's a bad matchup for him. He's going to want to get it to the ground. I think Vicente Luque is skilled enough on the ground that it makes it dangerous for Chiesa to bring it there. And we all know he's not outstriking Luque. There's just no way I really see Michael Chiesa winning this fight unless he somehow got Vicente Luque to the ground and was just so much stronger than him that he could just keep it there. I just don't know if that's going to be the case. I think Vicente Luque wins this fight easily. I'll give it a 4, though. I like both guys. I like the fight. And Vicente Luque just keeps climbing up the ranks most likely, which I'm also super excited for.
I like the implications here because, Chiesa's coming off a massive win over Neil Magny. I know Kieran would probably disagree that that's a massive win, but Magny did hold some credibility there. So it's good for Chiesa. He's getting his shot here. Luque's kind of been like up and down. Like every time he's kind of faced a bigger talent, he's kind of failed that test. So this would be a nice win for him to kind of hold down that top 5 that he wants. It's just the stylistic matchup again. It's just wrestler versus striker. Has the potential to be a snoozer if Chiesa's on the winning side of that, but I do love Vicente Luque. We've been kind of pumping his tires for a while now. The dude can strike with anyone, goes to war every single time. So, yeah, based off of that alone, I would probably agree maybe like 3.5, 4.
I'll say a 4 or 5. I mean, I don't think Vicente Luque really puts on too many boring performances ever. Also, I mean, Michael Chiesa at 170s looked really good. I mean, he filled out into his frame, and also his grappling's been fun to watch. He actually flows on top of people, but I don't think that's going to go well for him. I think he's stiff on the feet and probably going to get blasted early, like Zach said, which I'm all for. I used to not like Michael Chiesa, but now I kind of do, just because you get to see more and more. He's actually a really cool guy. I I still don't think he wins that fight though. So I'm gonna give that a 4. I just don't think it's too competitive.
Kies has got that 4-fight win streak. Condit, Diego Sanchez, RDA, Magny.
You could argue 2 of those guys should be retired.
RDA at 170.
Yeah,
and then
RDA,
Condit,
RDA, Diego Sanchez, Carlos Condit, no takedown defense. RDA, 155er, and then I don't know.
Neil Magny.
So. Neil Magny's a solid one. I'll give him that. I mean, Neil Magny.
I'm glad that you admitted
Neil
that.
Magny labels himself as a wrestler that gets thrown around by anybody with any sort of wrestling.
He's more of a grappler, I would say.
He's not good though.
He is good. He's like no.
He is great. He is great at avoiding not getting knocked out. That is what he is great at. I can't.
He's not great.
Stand Neil Magny.
He's not bad. He's
good. He's good. I'll give him that. He's good at what he does. He has no tools to be a top 5 fighter though, which
no, but you could almost argue he has the tools to be a top 5 fighter.
He's just gonna have to avoid
managing distance, grappling, size. He doesn't have the strength necessarily. And I used to think
people up whenever they get in close. Okay, I'll put it this way: Vincente Luque sends him to the Shadow Realm. Who else is in the top 5? Stephen Thompson fucks him up.
I mean, yeah. No, top 5.
Yeah, welterweight, no, not a chance. I mean, also, any of the good wrestlers in that division will throw him on his head. He can RDA grapple fucked him, like manhandled him, like a 155er that came up, just completely ran through him.
Give me Bilal Muhammad Magny. Number 8 Magny, number 9 Muhammad.
0. Come on. That is a 0. I will fucking hate that.
That fight never happened. I feel like that was a
chicken wing break. I'm going to go. I won't even get fucking Wingstop delivered to. I'm going to go pick that shit up while that fight is on. I guarantee you. Oh my god! Watch that actually turn out to be a banger though, because they're both.
Hey, Neil Magny coming off a Jeff Neal win. He's still going to be considered like in that.
That's
top
the fight
10,
that pissed me off more than anything, because Jeff Neal.
I love to sit here and listen
on the guys he hates,
bro. Okay, because look, Jeff Neal, just every time he closed the distance, Neil Magny just hugged him and then landed a jab from distance. He didn't take him down. He didn't wrestle. He's just like, okay, I'm going to jab you. I'm going to jab you. As soon as you get in close, I'm going to clench you up. Then Jeff Neal just pushed him to the fence. Couldn't land anything because he was clenched up. They break. Jab, like he just couldn't land it. It was just the same repeated shit over and over for 15.
Fighting.
It was smart, but that's the only way he's winning against anyone decent. I don't know. Jeff Neal, I feel like just if he was more aggressive, puts him away. I don't know. I just go back and watch that Lorenz Larkin versus Neil Magny fight over and over again, and I touch myself to that one. That was just amazing. No.
Listen, you do what you got to do. We're not judging here. We are a sex positive podcast. All right. Next, Johnny Walker's been rebooked. Steve, have you seen this?
No.
So Johnny Walker is going to be fighting Yago Maheta.
Santos.
And
Thiago Santos.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was already booked, was it not?
Yeah, but we didn't talk about it yet, did we?
I think we did.
I could have sworn we did.
Yeah,
did we talk about
Johnny Walker?
Yeah, we talked about it. We said Thiago Santos is gonna fucking.
He's gonna destroy him.
Yes. Yeah, actually, yes. Sorry. Next one was Askarov, Alex Perez.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting because we were all pretty much saying Askarov was going to get the next shot at the title. So they're throwing him to Alex Perez. They're probably working on some Cody Garbrandt coming down, or who's the next guy?
I think
Are they
the winner
going to
of
run the
this
rematch?
gets the
trilogy. I think they're going
trilogy. Yeah,
I think they're going trilogy. They want Figueiredo or Moreno to build their name off of someone, and building their names off of each other would be probably the most.
But wouldn't that kind of kill it? Like if Moreno comes out and destroys Figueiredo, or Figueiredo comes out and destroys him, like wouldn't you? I almost feel like it would hype it up.
They're gonna build it up though, like
Figueiredo
had a horrible weight cut again, even though he has one every single time he fights at that weight class. And I don't know.
If he wants it, they're going to give it to him. I don't think they can deny him that.
I feel like it would be hyped up more if Moreno defended the belt once and then Moreno just fought someone else and flatlined them, and they'd be like, oh, then it hypes it up and it's like, oh, well, here we go. We're back for the trilogy, and it would make it way more exciting than just running it back a third time in a row.
I think they might be trying to protect Moreno right now by giving him a more favorable matchup than Askarov. Just because what if Askarov does win? You have a deaf Russian guy that doesn't speak the language at all now as the champion of your least popular weight class. and he's not an exciting fighter either, like Brandon Moreno would be.
At least Figueiredo, like he couldn't really speak English, but at least he put on dominant performances.
Yeah, he's exciting. Him versus Brandon Moreno is going to be exciting every time they fight.
Yeah,
that's really all I see it as. Askarov more than deserves the next shot. I don't know why he took that fight and didn't just
because he knows
he's a dog. He's
I'll just kill this guy and then I'll just get the title shot next time. No big deal.
I guess. Yeah,
I'm not really excited about that fight, though.
I'm not excited about that fight at all either. I'm not that excited to watch these 125ers fight each other, even though Zach thinks it's the best weight class.
Yeah, I love to see
that was Schnell versus
that was a bad
Rodrigo
take,
Monterine.
I don't care. I don't care about bad takes. That's why we're the Stooges. We're not the MMA analysts. We're the MMA Stooges.
Man. 135 is elite.
Well, I like 125. All right, I enjoy a little bit thinner than 35. 25 is more my style.
With Alex Perez and Askarov.
And if that fight becomes a good fight, I don't want to hear you guys say, "Wow, that fight was really good." And I'm going to sit here and say, "I told you so." That's all I got to say.
All right. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
What about did we talk Merab and we talked Merab, right? Merab and Marlon Moraes. I think we did.
Or was that in the group chat that we talked about?
That was in the group chat.
Yeah.
We didn't talk about it on the show. So Marlon Moraes,
hard
Merab. Yeah, and I think that Marlon Moraes is going to get ragdolled by Merab.
I feel so bad for Marlon Moraes. We said it in the group chat. The guy is going to be forced out of the UFC because everyone he's facing is just an absolute killer. And Merab is no different.
He's going to be able to defend the takedowns early on. He has to put him away early. If not, he's going to tire out, and Merab is just going to swarm him and probably TKO him late.
Best cardio.
It'll be a decision. Merab don't finish people.
Marlon's gas is hard though.
I know.
Hard.
But I feel like this is what happens with Merab.
He can catch him though. I'm not gonna lie. I think Marlon can catch him.
Marlon can catch him.
Merab has great cardio, but I feel like a lot of times, like when his opponent starts slowing down, I feel like at times he slows down, and it ends up looking like a lot closer fight than what it really should be.
Yeah, and he's also one of those guys where he'll wrestle and take you down 10 times, but like he's not necessarily throwing vicious ground and pound the entire time.
He's not holding you down. A lot of times they get back up and then he chases you down and just
takedowns because you get back up. He has to take you down again.
Yeah. I like Merab a lot though. I more so just love saying his last name, Dvalishvili. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't think. How do y'all feel about Merab's last fight though?
It's a good win, but it didn't. He doesn't do
anything exciting.
But he's a decision guy. That's his thing. Yeah.
No, I know, but it was just like Cody Stamann was kind of pushing him a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. I feel it's cardio based. His wrestling attack. It's not like he's doing anything just super duper world class. It's like I'm just going to keep attacking you over and over.
He hasn't been tested yet either.
Yeah.
This is a levels fight right here.
Yeah.
We'll see how he does against a guy that was basically on the verge of a belt. To now, so no,
everyone thought he was gonna win. I mean, after the end of that first round, if I told you after the end of that first round, Cejudo's gonna come back, finish him, and he's gonna go on a 3-fight losing streak after and lose all of them.
I know.
You would have been like, no fucking way. This dude's the best in the world. Man. Yeah, and that's just everything has gone downhill since then. Since that,
I'm so happy because I've never been a Marlon Moraes fan. So for me, I think it's hysterical.
He was I met him before. He's a real nice guy. He sounds like.
Did you? His voice is.
I hate when he goes, Sean Shelby. Yes, and he just says Sean Shelby over and over and over again. I'm just like, shut up. Drives me crazy.
That was one.
It's a 5 though. It's a 5.
It's definitely a 5.
4.
Best weight class.
I think it'll be a boring fight.
Zach would be more excited to watch Matt Schnell versus Kai Kara France.
I think it's going to be that is a better fight.
No, come on.
Yes, it is.
Come on, man.
Dude, how many boring fights has Kai Kara France had? Tell me.
No, he's had some pretty exciting ones.
Exactly. How many boring fights has Merab Dvalishvili had in the UFC? More than
how many boring fights has Marlon Moraes had in the UFC? Against anyone not named Rafael Assunção. Well, people that make the fight boring, like Rafael Assunção or John Dotson.
Exactly. So that's all I'm saying.
They make the fight boring, though.
Yeah, but Merab can make it boring. Name an
exciting John Dotson or Rafael Assunção fight where they didn't just get absolutely fucked up.
But that's what I'm saying. He's fighting Merab. It's going to be boring. Where Kai Kara France is not, or Matt Schnell is not going to let it be boring.
Yeah, Matt Schnell.
I do like Kara France, but Schnell, I don't know.
Matt Schnell.
Maybe Conor Francis like Tim Elliott. I like watching
put it on a Twitter poll. Which one the fans or whoever UFC fans think will be more exciting?
They literally had to cut a top 5 fighter in that division because he was so boring. Juicy Formiga. They had to cut him because he was so boring.
That's okay.
The clear number 1 contender is not getting a title shot left because no one watches that division. You're crazy. You're crazy. Zach. You're all alone.
That's fine. I'm cool. Listen, I don't care. I'm all about being alone.
I feel you.
All right, guys. So we're moving on to this week. 1:00 prelims, 4:00 main card.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
So an hour even earlier for you, man.
Olympic trials are going to be on that, so I think that might be why they're not.
Well, I have baseball on Saturday, so I don't know what time I'll be done. I'll try to get a recap in or something, but it all depends on my schedule. But definitely not the best card. But listen, we have to make sacrifices because the next card after this one, we got Conor Dustin 3. So we got to make the sacrifice. And there's some good names on here. We got Yancy Medeiros fighting, who, Yancy Medeiros isn't bad. Charles Rosa, who and friend of the show, Justin Janes. Both guys possibly fighting for their jobs. That's probably a pink slip fight.
Charles Boston Strong Rosa. That dude.
Out in Florida, man.
Yeah, my favorite thing is he's Boston Strong.
Lose, win.
Yeah.
I can't stick with a guy that says he's Boston Strong but lives in Florida. It doesn't make any sense
and he
to
stiffed
me.
us in the DMs.
Yes, yep, he did. Warley Alves, potentially one of the greatest fighters in the world, considering look at his record and who he's beaten.
Colby Covington's dad.
Didn't he beat Usman? Warley Alves.
No, he beat Covington.
He lost to Usman.
No, he lost to Usman. Yeah.
And okay. There was I thought there was something else here.
Yeah,
he beat Colby Covington.
That was it. Yeah, that was pretty much it.
Oh, okay.
I would say last time out though, he was a massive underdog against Laziz. Knocked him the fuck out. Bad.
Give me Warley Alves in that one.
I'm just going to toss a name out there too that everyone should be watching is Ioni Barcelos. This dude can do it all. I cannot wait to watch him fight. He's on the radar. I'm telling you, he's on the come up.
Also, Shavkat Rakhmonov. He is really good. He's 13-0. He's really good. Pretty big favorite in that one. But then we get to the main card. It's like Moicano's exciting. That'll be a pretty good fight. I think Jai Herbert's the one that got knocked out by he was like LFA champ or something like that, and then he got knocked out by Francisco Trinaldo. Or Cage Warriors. It was Cage Warriors. He was Cage Warriors champ, got knocked out real bad by Francisco Trinaldo. Nicolas Dalby, Tim Means, the Dirty Bird, Andre Fili, Kennedy and Nzechukwu. Yeah, and then we got Tanner Boser.
Yeah,
Tanner Boser, OSP.
Tanner Boser, Kennedy, horrible as well. Kennedy and Nzechukwu had the fight against the guy from City Kickboxing, Carlos Ulberg.
Yes. We all bet on Ulberg.
Oh my gosh, that fight was just a regional MMA fight. That was as regional MMA as regional MMA.
I mean, it was exciting. I mean,
the cardio
all the strikes were thrown, but the cardio was just.
I tell you what, the cardio was horrible. The head movement was. They were just literally
there was
banging
no head
each
movement.
other in the face like
it was rock him, sock him.
Yeah,
that was crazy. Just oh my god. Yeah. Anyway, I'm glad that Renato Moicano's coming back on this card. Also, Andre Fili's always exciting.
Fili Pineda is going to be a good fight. I'm excited for that.
Yeah, so we can get into this here now.
The main event. We talk about the main event.
Yeah, we will when we get to it.
Oh, okay. I got you. I gotta talk about my sexy caramel king. You know.
So to start the main card, Renato Moicano versus Jai Herbert. Moicano lost his last time out against Rafael Fiziev, but Fiziev is a stud. I really like Fiziev a lot. They gave him
murderers after murderers.
Ortega or Aldo.
Are you kidding me?
Zombie Fiziev. So he's fought look at everyone.
The people he has to fight and lose to. That shit sucks, man. I feel bad. And look at who he's beaten. He beat Calvin Kattar. He beat Cub Swanson.
Jeremy Stevens.
He beat Jeremy Stevens. Yeah.
Takugov. That's a good win.
I couldn't believe that they gave him. I couldn't believe that they gave him Korean Zombie after that Jose Aldo body shot loss.
Yeah.
No. I mean, no, not that one. I can't believe they gave him like another super elite kickboxer like Fiziev. That was tough, man.
Brutal.
That was tough. Yeah.
But then, well, you flip it over, and then you got Reese McKee, you got Jai Herbert, who's lost to Reese McKee and Francisco Ronaldo. And
this is good.
This is what they need to do for Moicano to like get him back. This is what
they should have been doing, giving him bumps. Yeah.
Yes. And I think he's going to win this fight easily. Jai Herbert got knocked out really bad his last time out. Like it was the one where he got knocked out and Trinaldo kept hitting him and he's like begging the ref to stop the fight and the ref didn't stop the fight and he just kept beating the piss out of him.
Yeah.
So I'm going Moicano. I'm actually going to go knockout as well. When sometimes you get knocked out the way that Jai Herbert did, you don't recover.
I love when the UFC gives matchups like this. When like that like they're setting someone up to be cut. I don't know. It's so messed up, but it's like so true. It's like they gave Johnny Hendricks Paulo Costa.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, we know you're not going to win this, bro, but it's time to go. You know,
the interesting thing though, almost all of Moicano's wins they're all in the UFC. It's either a decision or rear naked choke. So he's due for a knockout.
He
is a good striker.
Won damn near every minute of his fight against Brian Ortega, and then Brian Ortega caught him in the very last part of that third round.
Guillotine. Yeah.
Yep. It was. I don't know. He's a solid fighter though. Renato Moicano should. I think he should be ranked at like featherweight if he just stayed down there. But he went up after he took 2 hard losses. He was like 1 or 2 wins away from a title shot at one point. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how he recovers though, because he's taken 3 just really bad finishes. You know.
It's okay though. So is Jai Herbert.
Yeah.
So who you going with, Kieran?
Oh, I'm going Moicano. Moicano via I'll say knockout. I say he gets a KO on his record.
Finally.
I'll say first round. Fuck it.
Oof.
First round stoppage.
All
Dang.
Right.
Yeah, this one's feeling pretty hard to go the other. I'm not feeling confident taking Jai Herbert like only plus 210.
Yeah.
Even though Moicano, like, I guess his last win was 2020, but before that it was 2018. He's had a couple of bad losses. Is he going to rebound? Only 32 years old, really all not that old. Still got some maybe like 1-2 years left in it. So I say he still stays relevant here. He's going to get a win. Let's go Moicano. I'll take the sub on it.
I'm going to put money on Jai Herbert by finish because we all picked Renato Moicano.
You have fun with that.
I mean, Herbert does. I mean, don't get me wrong. The 2 losses that he has are like nowhere near the losses that Moicano has, but all his wins are all a ton of knockouts on his record. So, and Moicano's been knocked out, so I'm not saying it's not possible. All right, next one. Does anyone else want to do it? You want me to go through it?
You got it. I'll take the main.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Next, we got Nicolas Dalby versus the Dirty Bird, Tim Means. Tim Means last time out fought Mike Perry and just absolutely destroyed him. But again, that is the Mike Perry that we don't know what the hell's going on with him. He's actually on a 2-fight win streak. His last fight was before Mike Perry beat Strapoli by decision. At this point in his career, he seems like a pretty decision heavy fighter. His losses aren't bad other than Bilal Muhammad. He lost split decision to Bilal Muhammad. Sergio Moraes.
Bilal Muhammad's a bad loss now. He's like a top 10 fighter. We're like
Nico Price. He lost by knockout, and Daniel Rodriguez guillotined him standing. So that's the Dirty Bird. And on the other side, you got Nicolas Dalby coming off a win over Daniel Rodriguez.
Good win.
Unanimous decision. He's also beaten Alex Oliveira in the UFC, which a lot of people now have done as well. So he dropped 3 in a row, and since then, so he was in the UFC, got cut, and then came back. So he had a loss in his first one back in Cage Warriors, and then went on a streak and hasn't lost since. He's looked pretty good. Only
no contest because one of the mat was like unsafe.
Yeah,
some shit. That was crazy.
How about a majority draw with Darren Till in 2015?
That's pretty impressive.
Think about that one.
Yeah. I don't know. This is kind of a tough one for me to pick. I'm not like high on either one. I think typically I like to go with the vet, but I like Dalby a little bit. I'm gonna go Nicolas Dalby, but I'm gonna go decision. Tim Means is a kind of a hard guy to put away. He's a tough old man. I'll stick with the Dirty Bird. He's spent some time in prison. He knows hard time. Yeah, I'll go with the Dirty Bird in this. Or I'm going to go Dalby by decision, but he's not going to put away the Dirty Bird.
Yeah, this one, I mean,
Tim Means is the favorite.
I was just gonna say, I feel like that's a little off, if I'm being honest. The win, Nicolas Dalby's win over Daniel Rodriguez, who we've kind of see come up and get some really good wins, I thought was really impressive. He's riding the pretty decent win streak there with some decent names on it. So for him to come in as an underdog, I mean, Tim Means, like, yeah, he's got like a couple of good wins, but like, why are we tossing him as the favorite here? I don't really see it. 37 years old.
31-12.
That's a pretty good record. It's okay.
I mean, but Dalby's 19-3.
31-12 is like a Masvidal record.
Actually, yeah, you're right. I'm going to take Dalby. Yeah.
Like Tim Means, like why are we so high on Tim Means in this fight? Dalby's coming on like a 4 or 5 fight win streak with a really good win over Daniel Rodriguez, who subbed Tim Means.
Tim Means, yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense to me. So I'm going to ride with Dalby here. I have no problem doing that at all. I'll go decision.
Yeah, I think Dalby's win over Cowboy Oliveira tells me a lot too. Like he's going to be able to deal with like length and at least decent striking. I'll take Dalby. Yeah, I say decision. I don't really know too much about his game, but I'll say decision over Tim Means.
Like it. And then the next one, Andre Touchy Fili, going up against
Daniel
Pineda. And so anyone that knows that's listened in the past, I'm actually a huge Andre Fili fan. Sounds very weird, I know, but there's just something about his performances where he's like that one guy that's just always going to, I feel like, always be on the outside looking in, but he's always a really tough opponent for anyone. Like Bryce Mitchell, people thought Bryce Mitchell was going to run right through him, and Bryce Mitchell did win every round against Andre Fili, but Andre Fili was able to get up from the takedowns, was able to reverse positions with submissions and everything else. Like he held his own against someone in Bryce Mitchell that people are really high on. And you look at his other losses, Sadiq Youssef, Michael Johnson isn't great, but like Michael Johnson has really tons of experience. Lost to Calvin Kattar, Yair Rodriguez, Max Holloway. So the dude has literally fought everyone, it seems like. And then you go to the other end and you see Daniel Pineda, who has a lot of fights as well. But his last fight was a loss to Cub Swanson by knockout. But he's got wins over Herbert Burns, and that's basically
that was his UFC debut.
Yeah, and that's basically it. There's nothing else here.
We fought before, and then he got cut.
Yeah,
one of those.
But for me, one of those. So for me, I just feel like Andre Fili, even though Pineda has more fights, Andre Fili's just fought the better competition. Fili, not a guy that really finishes fights too often. I think he's better on the ground. I don't think he's really knocking many people out. So for me, I'm gonna go Andre Fili by decision. I don't think he's gonna finish the fight, but he's really good at keeping the fight at his distance. He's typically a longer. He's got a reach advantage a lot of times in these fights, and I don't know. I'm a Fili fan. It's hard to pick against him. So it'll probably, and it's normally his fights are pretty exciting. They're never really like boring. So yeah, we'll go Fili by decision.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. I think with Daniel Pineda, like he wasn't in the UFC up until recently. He was, I guess, before that, but his, the Herbert Burns win in his UFC re-debut, I think we gave him a lot of credit in that fight. He looked great, but I don't really think Herbert Burns is really that, top level of talent. Then he goes out, gets slept by Cub Swanson, who's kind of on the tail end of his career there. So then you're like, okay, he got humbled a little bit. But Andre Fili is just a guy who's been pretty consistent. I know he's like a win-loss guy, but, he's always in there fighting. He can grapple. He has the ground game. He can strike. He will have the 4-inch reach advantage here. He will have 4 inches in height as well. So 5'11" versus 5'7". So bigger guy, lankier guy, more reach here. So I have no problem taking Andre Fili in this one. Minus 225, that's pretty heavy. I would probably toss that in a parlay. But I have no problem taking Andre Fili in this one. And yeah, I feel like he's a kind of a decision guy. So I'll go with that.
I'm going to take Daniel Pineda in this one, honestly. I mean, he's been on a pretty decent win streak before going up against Cub Swanson, and he took a hell of shots. I mean, he got his ass whooped straight up by Cub Swanson. But Andre Fili is not Cub Swanson. I don't know. I mean, dude has talent, but he's never consistent. And I take Daniel Pineda just because he's a fucking tank. He's just huge, like just a fucking tank. And Andre Fili has had trouble filling out into the weight class for a long time, but now he's finally there, I think, size-wise. But I feel like they're pretty even as far as skill set is concerned, but I'll take the guy that knows how to go on a win streak over Andre Fili. So
damn you.
Yeah.
You want to finish on that?
Fuck no. Give me a decision.
Andre Fili is a tough guy to put away.
I'm gonna have to watch all of this. Oh,
you're gonna have to what? Oh,
I don't know.
Guys, don't make me do the next one. Can someone else please do the next one?
Is it the Kennedy?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. So we got Kennedy and Nzechukwu versus Danilo Marques. Kennedy, I mean, he's not a UFC caliber fighter. He's only 8-1 though. Like he's still young in his MMA career.
Paul Craig only loss.
Yeah, Paul Craig's his only loss, who's looking pretty nice to be honest with you. Danilo Marques, I think is he a UFC newcomer? No, he's fought one time before. Two times before in the UFC.
Subbed Mike Rodriguez.
Yeah, he subbed Mike Rodriguez. Yeah. I think you take him. He's 11-2. They're both fucking huge, by the way, both 6'6". I don't know how Kennedy's going to deal with someone that's actually his size.
Marquez is nasty on the ground.
Yeah, Kennedy and Nzechukwu is not a good fighter. He's not. I mean, he's not. I'll be honest with you. I feel like if I just trained, I could go to that fucking gym in Dallas. It's down the street. If it's in Fortis, I could go down there and blast his shit in sparring. I'm not gonna lie to you. He is not fucking good at all.
Kieran would be like 10-0 in the UFC in his opinion if he trained. If I trained,
got to choose his opponents.
Yeah. No. Let me choose the opponent. I can beat him. No, I don't think I could beat Sam Alvey in a mixed martial arts fight. I was talking like in Kennedy. I feel like if I trained, I'd beat him in an MMA fight. That's how bad I think he is. But in a boxing match, Sam Alvey's getting worked by me. Kennedy's getting absolutely blasted by me. I also looked at NBA rosters the other day with my friends and was telling everyone which players I would sleep and which players I would not. I'm just a confident individual.
I know that I'm a better shooter than Ben Simmons. I know that.
That is very true. I think a lot of us are.
Free throws, dude, I'd wipe him.
Good God. But yeah, don't put your money on Kennedy and Nzechukwu ever. That is a fucking horrible idea. He is not a UFC level fighter. And I think if Danilo Marques has any sort of coordination with his hands and feet, he will win this fight.
Yeah.
And also, Kennedy's not going to get away with size on this one. Danilo Marques is also 6'6". It's going to be a tough night.
You want decision, sub, TKO?
Stoppage. Can I just say stoppage? Because I don't know.
No, you got to pick.
I can't award points for that.
I'll say. I'm going to say by submission. He can knock him out if he wants to, but Kennedy has a bit of a chin because he's just big. But I'll say submission. He should be able to take him down and choke him out at will, to be honest with you. I'm just not high on Kennedy at all.
I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah,
I think Danilo's going to take him down easily. And I could see I could almost see it just like the slow Mike fight. Take him down, get the back, rear naked choke, fight over. Yeah. That's exactly how I see this going. I'm going Danilo Marques by sub. Yeah. That's all I got to say about that.
Shit, I'm actually gonna complete the trifecta there. I don't know. I feel like Nzechukwu basically pulled that last win out of his ass just because Olberg gassed so hard.
Yeah,
like that was just. It's not a good.
He was getting his ass beat.
Yeah,
bad.
Yeah, 100%. So I can't really give that one too much stock. And then a guy who's only 8-1 and his only loss is to a guy who's good on the ground in Paul Craig, and then you bring in Marques, the Brazilian, who has multiple submissions. Yep. Let's go Marques sub. The three-way. So
put your money on Nzechukwu. They say Nzechukwu or something like that.
Nzechukwu.
I say Nzechukwu.
In Nigeria, though. He rides with those guys.
Yeah, there you go. Karen's like, God damn it. Next we have OSP Tanner Boser. Oh, I got fuck this fight, guys. God.
Why do y'all hate Tanner Boser so much? I don't think he's that bad.
His last fight against Andre Arlovski was a freaking snooze fest. And he lost to Ilir Latifi after that. Yeah. Come on.
He's terrible. Yeah. He's split really decision, bad.
Yeah. Ciryl Gane fucking worked him but he just ate the shots for 3 rounds.
Listen,
I mean, he works everyone.
I love OSP. I've always liked OSP a lot, and don't get me wrong, OSP in his time is about done.
He's a disappointment as well.
Yes, this is a loser leaves town fight, 1,000%. The only thing with OSP is like he can fill in, at 2 weight classes basically. This one's at heavyweight. I'm just based on. I think Tanner Boser will probably win the fight, but just based on the fact that I just dislike Tanner Boser at this point, and I hate his fight style. I hope OSP just does like an OSP thing, gets like some sort of fucking Von Flue choke, and wins this fight. I'm gonna go OSP. I don't know how I want it. We'll go sub. Screw it. We'll go OSP by sub. Why not? Tanner Boser is probably going to be the better striker at this point. If he can get him to the ground, OSP by sub. No? Kieran says no.
I got Tanner Boser via KO.
That very well could happen.
I got Tanner Boser via KO. I think he rebounds here. I don't think he was a horrible fighter before, but I mean, he went up against more elite competition and he got worked.
OSP's been in there with a lot of really good people.
And he's had decent wins. The Alonzo Menafield win was good. That
the only thing with OSP is he tires out really, really fast. And so if it doesn't end in like round 1.5, Tanner Boser starts picking them apart and it probably knocks him out.
I think Tanner Boser uses that mullet power and lands a couple of good shots, and OSP's not
that Canadian mullet.
OSP folds so much, man. I don't know why he's still even fighting, to be honest with you. He's a giant athletic disappointment if you ask me. I'm not gonna lie to you. He
has some good wins though. Shogun,
Corey Anderson,
a
Shogun that fights out of his weight class every time he steps in the cage.
Tyson Pedro. Whatever happened to Tyson Pedro?
I feel like he fought not too long ago.
It's been a while. 2018.
He fought
Tyson Pedro looked nice early on, and then he lost to Shogun. He got fucking knocked out by Shogun.
I'll also say I think the Ben Rothwell loss was bullshit.
I think he won that, if I remember. Split decision. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why he's never changed up his training camp. He still trains in like Knoxville, Tennessee with some strength and conditioning coaches or some shit. And I'm like, dude, you actually had potential early on, and you have just completely blown it. You could have gone to a real camp so long ago and actually gotten some decent training and become a world-class fighter. But no, he just wants to train with a bunch of fucking nobodies in Tennessee close to home.
He's winning this fight.
I don't know.
I'll break the tie here, but as much as I am shitting on Tanner Boser,
don't do it, Steve.
I feel like this is going to be his bounce-back win. I really do. And it's because now I'm looking at the Andre Arlovsky fight. Arlovsky's looked very good. So I'm not going to
don't say no. And then don't say very good.
Okay, he hasn't looked very good, but he's looked good enough where I'm not going to take too much away from Tanner Boser in that fight. And
he fought Chase Sherman.
Philip Chase Sherman was looking good, man.
And Tanner Boser.
Chase Sherman was looking good.
He got steamrolled by Tom Aspinall.
There was a reason there was hype behind Tanner Boser's name. I mean, Philip Lin's, it's kind of a name.
It's a name. It's definitely a name.
I don't know. I just think OSP, after getting worked by Jamal Hill like that too, it's like,
Jamal
is he
Hill's
really
not bad?
No, he's not. I don't know. Like you said, OSP folds, man. I'm gonna go with Boser. I don't know why. I just think this is the fight where he would bounce back. This is where it kind of needs to happen. And I'll go
the loser leaves town fight. Guys, just imagine like these were the fight. This was the so MMA back in the day, right? Like remember you had to pay for all the cards. It wasn't just on TV. Could you imagine if this was the card that people had to pay for?
No one's paying for this.
But back then they probably are.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
It's weird to think about
Volkov, that's about it.
We're sitting here and we're like, God,
they didn't have this many shows.
Sucks.
They didn't have this many shows.
You guys are missing the freaking point. You're missing the point. It just went right over. Kieran, I'll give you the main event. Go ahead.
Let's fucking go. Finally, I've been waiting for this all damn day.
I know he's been like
real talk.
He's been like
real. Let's get to the real fucking reason why any of us are gonna sit through the rest of these bullshit ass fights. It's because Alexander Volkov is going up against Ciryl Gane in what should be the heavyweight #1 contender fight. Should be. Do I have any disagreements there? Any objections to that?
John Jones?
Should be.
John Jones hasn't fought in heavyweight. John
Jones shouldn't have a #1 contender fight. He's the greatest fighter of all time, and he's had the fucking belt. Yeah.
Stipe Miocic.
Nope.
The winner of this is gonna fight Stipe.
Not even Stipe. The guy that Stipe's not taking that. Are you kidding me?
No.
If Volkov wins, he'll take it. I guarantee you. If Ciryl Gane wins this fight,
I don't think he takes Volkov.
No, he won't. No,
you don't think Volkov will knock out Stipe?
I'm telling you, no, he will not. No, he will not. Alexander Volkov. Okay, let's just go ahead and get to this. I'll go. I'll go ahead and put it down. When he wasn't even good at MMA yet. Anyway. I'll get to that. I mean, he also lost to JDS right after the Stefan Struve knockout. And then what did he do to JDS? Knocked him out. I was there. I witnessed it. UFC 211, May of 2017. You're welcome. Anyway,
appreciate it.
Ciryl Gane is the next gen heavyweight. He is the most technical on the feet heavyweight that we have ever seen in mixed martial arts, and at the heavyweight division in the UFC. Do I have any objections to that statement? No, I don't believe so. He is absolutely ridiculous. Next guy up, and this is a big step up. I'm not gonna lie. Also, I thought Jairzinho Rozenstruik was gonna be a decent step up, but I also thought he was gonna get the job done.
Are you a little nervous?
Just like I think he's gonna get the job done right here. I'm not that nervous. It's just Volkov hits hard, but at the same time, if you look at what Volkov has made his name off of, there are Walt Harris. Is Walt Harris going to have a job in the UFC by the end of this year?
No.
Those odds are probably in the negative. Alistair Overeem does not have a job in the UFC right now. Greg Hardy, if he loses another fight, probably will not have a job any longer in the UFC.
Thank goodness.
And
Fabricio Verdum does not have a job in the UFC. Stefan Struve.
Retired.
Roy Nelson doesn't have a job in the UFC. Timothy Johnson doesn't have a job in the UFC. Those are his last 7 wins.
But I feel like he's gotten better. I feel like he's gotten better. You don't think so?
And his wins are pretty overwhelming the last 2. Those are legitimate knockouts.
Against 2 guys that I don't think would do any better against Ciryl Gane. Ciryl Gane fought JDS, blasted him quick, easy, out of there because he was old and washed up. I think you're going to see Ciryl Gane walk through Alexander Volkov. Just walk through him. Just absolutely just walk through him. I'm sorry. I think Alexander Volkov is good, but I think he's getting very overrated. And I've had a lot of time to think about this. I think he's getting very overrated off of 2 performances over guys that have numerous stoppage losses in their careers. Alistair Overeem has been, I think, knocked out 14 times or something like that. I'm not even going to lie to you. Alistair Overeem beat Augusto Sakai, Walt Harris, that's the other guy that he fought before. I just think this is a huge step up in competition, not for Ciryl Gane, but for Alexander Volkov. Ciryl Gane is going to go out there and absolutely buzzsaw this dude, however which way he sees fit. Hey, we have never seen anything like this, and I know I'm hyping up the hype train right now. All of this might just come back to bite me in the ass after Volkov just hits him with a jab that drops him or some shit. But at the same time, when I look at this fight, I see Ciryl Gane, who is incredibly tough to hit. Probably the best defensive fighter at heavyweight. Incredibly tough to hit. He's fought, 5-6 times? He hasn't even really been touched in the octagon. Against a guy, Alexander Volkov, who's big, slow, hits hard, but has a tough time getting stuff going against guys that can move.
I don't think he's that slow. I just think he's slower than Gane, though.
He's very slow compared to
He's
Gane.
like 6. He's so big. I feel like he just naturally cannot move that well. Whereas Ciryl Gane, even at 6'5", moves like he's a 125er.
Also, that range management shit that he does against those smaller guys like Alistair Overeem, who has heavy-ass plotting feet at this stage of his career, and also Walt Harris, who can't get shit going and only has cardio for a round. Not going to work against a guy on his toes that can move around 4 or 5 rounds. I think this is going to be a showcase fight and a wash, and Dana better give him his fucking shot or a fight against Stipe. Give him a fight against Stipe. I want that so bad because everyone will have to shut the fuck up about Stipe Miocic being this fucking killer when he's only fought 3 fucking guys in the past 4 years. He's only fought Ngannou, DC.
I mean,
pretty good competition.
Awesome competition. A 42-year-old post-back surgery DC is who he beat twice.
DC would work people in the heavyweight division. Come on.
Would he work Ngannou?
Well, no.
And Ngannou had to sit on the sideline and not get his title shot after having a bad game plan the first time he fought Stipe. I'm tired of it, and I'm sick of it, and I just want it all to stop. Please give Stipe, give Ciryl Gane 250 pounds Stipe that's apparently going to beat Francis Ngannou now because he's big enough to wrestle. Give him whichever version of whoever you want. I got Ciryl Gane versus the entire division, and I'm confident in it, and I'm locking it in. Ciryl Gane is going to win this fight. I don't know if he's going to win via stoppage because he just likes just managing a fight and doing really well. He's going to win it via it's either going to be a 50-45 decision or he's going to finish him via
pick it.
Give me, you know what? I want him to make a statement. Give me a third round stoppage for Ciryl Gane.
Submission?
No. Punch. I mean, shit, he can do it via submission. He ankle locked someone already. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I got him via punches. Third round.
As much I really want to take Volkov just to
you know it's not going to happen.
You, but I think that honestly I think this fight on paper it looks like it's going to be super exciting, but I think with the way Ciryl Gane fights and when it's the heavyweights and there's power involved and everything else, it tends to be a snooze fest. I could see it going a lot like the Rozenstruik fight where just I think Gane sits on the outside, moves in and out, jab a little bit. I can even see because Volkov has pretty not really good takedown defense. I could see him maybe taking him down maybe once or twice. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be. I think that honestly on paper it looks better than what it's going to be. I think this fight has a shot to be kind of boring, but I'm going to go Ciryl Gane. I'm going to go decision.
The only two knocks I have on Ciryl Gane is one, I wish he were more aggressive in that Rozenstruik fight. I wanted him to get the finish because it was there for him to take, and he needs to kind of do that later on because you can't really dance around and let some of these guys in for 5 rounds. But the other knock is he only has 8 fights total in MMA, and you're going against a guy who has 41 and who I'm pretty sure had a kickboxing background as well. So that's really the only 2 knocks that I have, but it is just something crazy about when you watch Ciryl Gane, like for him to have such a small amount of, a number of fights, he's choking people out. He's got arm bars, triangle chokes, heel hooks. It just comes so naturally to him when you watch him fight. So it really is a thing of beauty. And I've been on that train for a while. Ever since I've watched his first fight, I was like, dude, this guy at heavyweight doing this doesn't look right. There's something going on here. He's special. He got tested with Rozenstruik. He knocked out JDS. I've actually kind of been on like the anti-Volkov train for a little while too. So yeah, man, I'm with you. I am with you. I think Gane, I think he is the future of heavyweight. I think he at one point will hold a belt, and I think it definitely starts here, wins this one, gets into a title fight, and we're going to see his name around for a while because he's only 30 years old, and he has not had a lot of miles on that. So give me Ciryl Gane, and I just want him to go for the finish here, so I'm going to go TKO.
Give him literally anybody in that heavyweight division, and I'm picking him. That's how confident I am in him right now. The only one that I'm kind of like, oh, that's going to be a tough one is Francis. That's it. That's how high I am on Ciryl Gane. And I hope he proves me right this week because heavyweight needs him to be this good. Heavyweight needs him to be this good. Yeah. They need imagine Francis Ngannou is the champion right now and nobody thinks he's going to be touched forever. You have a guy like Ciryl Gane come in, tough scene. I don't know. I got Ciryl Gane. The fact John Jones is the reason that I got into this sport in the first place, I'm picking Ciryl Gane over John Jones. That's how high I am on
John Jones, Ciryl Gane could be the best fight you could make at heavyweight. Yep. If John Jones actually looks good at heavyweight. That would be the most technical fight that heavyweight would ever have. Yeah. Ever. I'm super excited to see it. I think Ciryl Gane is going to work Volkov this week. I don't get the hype with Volkov, especially when you're beating guys that have been finished as many times and looked as bad as Alistair Overeem and Walt Harris have. And that's who he built his win streak off of. After he got absolutely grapple fucked by Curtis Blaydes. Curtis Blaydes is the only other guy that I'd be like, okay, can Ciryl Gane deal with that wrestling for 5 rounds?
Now,
that's it though.
If we recap Saturday, which we don't know if we'll be able to recap or not, it's all going to depend on my baseball schedule. We're going to keep trying to do recaps whenever we can, but obviously summertime, things get a little hectic, so we're going to do the best we can. But if we recap Saturday and Volkov somehow knocked out Gane, like round 1, just kicked to the face or something and KOs him, are you even going to show up?
Probably not, no. I will be...
You're sulking? You'll be sulking?
He'll recover from it, though. I think it's just a matter of time.
Will you recover from it?
He has 0 mileage.
No. 0 mileage in the game. You're talking about a dude that beat Muay Thai world champions within like his 3rd fight in Muay Thai. He's just that athletically gifted. Even if he loses, he will recover and become a champion. I will come back on here and say if they ran it back tomorrow, Ciryl Gane would win. Concuss Brandon all. There's no way that he wins this fight unless there's just a giant hole in Ciryl Gane's grappling that we haven't seen yet. because we haven't really seen anybody legitimately try to take him down, which we might see this week. But that's the
Volkov
only area.
will try to take him down?
Yeah, of course Volkov will try to take him down. You think Volkov's going to want to stand with that guy?
I don't think he can take him down. I don't think that's really in his repertoire, is it?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think that's if Ciryl Gane goes out there with a game plan to take Volkov down, I'm going to be really upset because I don't think anyone can stand with him.
He has an 83-inch reach.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Volkov's 6'7", and he's only 81-inch.
Yep.
Oh.
Ciryl Gane has an 83-inch reach. Might be bigger than John Jones.
You're talking about someone that's long. Like I think Ciryl Gane's really like 6'5", pushing 6'6", probably too.
Yeah.
We're talking about someone that's as long as Volkov, quicker, more technical. He's not just going to be a sitting duck there waiting for him to. He's going to move his head, be moving inside, throwing shots, countering.
What about Volkov leg kicks on Ciryl Gane?
I think he jumps out of the way of him or checks him. I don't. He's just. You're talking about a dude that came from Muay Thai. That's their whole shit.
Yep.
Like that's like. I don't know. I don't think leg kicks working for him, especially coming as slow as everything that comes from Alexander Volkov does. We'll see though. We'll see because I do agree. I think Volkov hits hard. So if he catches him a couple times, he could be in trouble. But we're also talking about a guy that's used to sparring with Francis Ngannou. I think he could take a fucking shot.
Yeah.
Ciryl Gane, champion 2022. If not 2021, I book it. Put money on that shit. I oh my God. And also after this fight, give him a title shot or give him Derek Lewis or Stipe if you haven't made that fight already. Because I guarantee you he beats Derek Lewis and Stipe in his sleep.
Yeah, apparently the heavyweight.
Apparently
Francis and Derek Lewis is not a done deal yet. So,
I know because Francis wants John Jones. He doesn't want that bullshit ass fight. He wants John Jones. Who wouldn't want John Jones?
Yeah, well,
I feel like that might
going to be a massive
beef in the company.
Payday too.
Yeah. Well,
anything else, guys, for the good of the cause before we shut it down?
I'm good.
Nothing. Catch
100th episode.
After Ciryl Gane.
This was the 100th episode. We didn't even mention that. Wow, we didn't even mention it. 100 shows. 100 shows. Here we are.
That's
commitment. Shout out to us.
Dedication.
I've only been here for like 20 of them or something, but
Hey, count it.
Yeah, anyone that's been involved in the 100 episodes, we appreciate it. Something that I'm not going to say. I think we're in a good place right now. We're happy doing it. We love doing it, but we're not making it a top priority. We're just enjoying it, having fun, trying to make good content for everyone, and just some friends shooting the shit about some MMA. So that's really all this is about, having fun. And, we look forward to creating more content, and maybe we'll get to 200. Who knows? We got another 1 year in the books, another year on the way. We've also done more than 100 shows. We just didn't label them all episodes for the show. So there's more than 100 shows on our channel. So I guess that's also why I kind of just went over my head a little bit. Kieran, you want to give your Sheath promo before I shut it down?
Hold on. Mom, turn it off.
Here we go.
Turn it off.
All right. I've been working on this one. Okay. Have you guys ever wondered what it feels like to not shave with your underwear, especially in the hot summer? I live in Texas, and trust me, as a thick boy myself with these thunder thighs, chafing is really a problem. It can really be a serious problem. That's why you should get Sheath underwear. Sheath underwear has anti-chafing technology. I'm not even sure if that's what they call it, but it does help with chafing. It's going to separate your eggs from your sausage, as Zach loves to say. And
Carrie, actually, but
Carrie does love to keep that. The sausage and the egg separated. Me, I actually like a combo, like a mix together, like with the chopped sausages. But anyway, if you want your little guys downstairs to be separated and anti-chafe proof, well, not anti-chafe, but chafe proof, head on over to Sheath Underwear. Use the promo code Coffee and KOs for 20% off of your purchase, and separate your eggs and your sausage. See, I didn't say cock and balls.
You just said it.
Oh, my fault. Yeah, I did. I did. I'm sorry.
Oh, shit. All right, guys. That's going to do it for this episode. We'll see you all maybe Saturday. If not, we'll be back. We'll be back next week. We'll do something next week, even though it's an off week. Enjoy the week, everyone. Stay safe, and we'll see you guys all next time.